time right off the bat.
The big thing is the fact that you saw CLG preferring to ban out the top lane in the first rotation of the ban phase because those tanks are a little safer to take blind. But you have to think now, is it better to get rid of the Zed Talon right away and give counter pick to Darshan, or pick the Zed Talon after they show him?
Oh, but what happens if you ban Rumble instead? That kind of in my mind says, okay, we can't play Talon or Zed this game because we're not going to have top lane. We might have to play a jungler in this case?
Yeah, I mean, there's enough residual damage that if you get a Zyra plus an Elise, like you're starting to be able to see you can't completely ignore it, and then if you have some other kind of AP tank like a Malphite, you probably have enough AP damage at that point, but still need to give some items against it.
What's interesting is that at this point, both teams have chosen red side games 1-3-3 this time around. Black with the choice has opted to remain on the blue side, so getting the victory here, they're feeling comfortable remaining in this position when it comes to champ select and giving away a counter pick, which might, again, kind of point to the fact that, hey, we're happy to take our solo lane line, we need a counter. Yeah, that's super interesting. But this also able to get the possibility of getting Rengar first again for Moon, or they get Lulu, and then they most likely pick their solo lane in the second round. Final.
Yeah, I was going to agree. I think Rengar was the bigger thing. You saw City had great games on it. Now you see Moon have his own good game on it. I think it's becoming the priority between the two teams right now. And getting both sides to fly quite a bit.
All right, 2-1 CLG still out for the lead. We're going to take a quick break. Meet us back here to see if Fly can carry this momentum forward. Game 5. Silver straight. Reverse it. Best part of the raid.
Careful, center. Oh my god. I'm coming, guys, but I'm coming. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's hard. Yeah, we won.
Oh, high. Hard forward. And the chain.
He just saw Xmithy in the corner of his eye. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Ooh, the burn!
One more, the burn is on. The blue buff will be transferred, but it's not going to come through. High squeezes tight and stays alive.
Oh!
Whoa.
Moon tried to make a play there.
Moon trying to throw down the ulti quick, get himself back in.
He's got Max on it. Ooh, that one was almost a root there.
High over the wall! Making it look juicy.
Did she keep chasing?
Yeah, moving up.
Yeah, the bomb going down. Nice. I got her.
Good shit, good shit.
This right here is called the high moon.
It's half move.
Welcome back, everyone. We get to see some of that synergy in action in our last game as FlyQuest finally get one themselves on the board and force at least a 4th game versus CLG. I mean, we kind of expect things to change up for FlyQuest. High and Moon back on comfort picks, back on more aggressive picks, and it made a world of difference.
Yeah, we definitely got a view of the High Moon in the last game. First blood starting out, and I don't think Moon even died the whole game. Up until like 30 minutes, he was deathless there on the ring. A really good performance from him. May have dropped one at the very end. I'm not gonna get too big.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing great, right? And the fact of the matter is, though, CLG loves to do these risky kind of pre-planned level 1s. Sometimes they are one of the teams that really does like to experiment with that. And sometimes you are going to get caught out with it. That is the price you pay for trying.
Well, we'll see what changes here in the draft. FlyQuest sticking on blue side, banning away Aurelion Sol. Expecting to see him permaban throughout the rest of the series. Camille once again. And there's Malzahar for CLG. So I think at least 6 bans in the series so far, or at least 4 or 5 of them have stayed very consistent and should do so, as there's Shen banned once again from CLG.
One thing I am curious about is if they decide to take the Rumble instead of the Nautilus off the table. That is something that they could go to, as Balls has played the Rumble 3 times in a row. It's not been the biggest problem for CLG, and they may think that it's not the champion, but still, sometimes putting someone off their comfort can be a good idea.
Yeah, could be. And in that case, I think FlyQuest has shown a lot of success with Nautilus, with Balls on one of the premier tanks in the top lane. And I'm curious to see if CLG will take that away.
We'll instantly take it away. Well, Lulu and Rumble rounded out. There's Rengar for 1, but Nautilus Graves instantly answered there for CLG. So smart stuff so far. Maybe see FlyQuest do some of the same by taking away Ash from Stixxay perhaps.
I think one of the smartest parts about it is the fact that Rengar has been super high priority in this, and they're making the bet that FlyQuest will not actually, go for that trade, take the Nautilus first.
But one of the big things is that the Ashe now actually taken away from Altec, who hasn't had a lot of games on Ashe. It's something that Stixxay and CLG have gone back to over and over, for their initiation though, and we'll see if FlyQuest can actually run kind of a similar situation here.
They definitely could, and the Ashe is very powerful. That said, Stixxay is known as one of the premier team fighting AD carries. The ability to get him on something like a Caitlyn or an Ezreal could be pretty strong. I don't think we're going to see parity throughout the draft here, though, in the first round. So, they could try to target CLG's bot lane. Even if you pick AD carry support, you can target the other to try to get an advantageous bot lane matchup.
Well, there's actually Karma for FlyQuest, so they're going to presumably finish that duo lane. Some flexibility there, but Karma does not strike me as a mid lane champion for High in particular. We'll see what CLG want to do here, but FlyQuest have to, pick this away, knowing that, hey, we're probably going to target bottom lane, and almost assuredly, High, Zed, and Talon are getting banned again.
Yeah, so you say that, but also, they haven't picked a top lane here to answer the Nautilus, and CLG could put more focus on Balls. They already banned out the Rumble and taken away the Nautilus. And they could really push him down far as the tier list goes.
It's definitely an option. I think for FlyQuest, we may see something like a Nami ban, who has been so strong and I think works well with that Ezreal here too. You definitely can take away the Maokai, which is kind of that last remaining top tier tank. There's still Poppy available for Balls, but I'm not sure if he's as practiced on it.
And we are assuming that he's going with the tank. Just because, they haven't had a lot of success with Camille and Fiora and split pushing and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean that they, have to pigeonhole themselves into that.
Well, you're right about top lane. There's Maokai banned from CLG. Vlad once again banned by FlyQuest. And I think maybe FlyQuest were expecting some of those mid lane bans. And CLG say, no, we're happy with you to get an assassin. We're actually going to pinch Balls even further. So smart stuff from CLG. They were thinking that many steps ahead. There's the Fizz ban to continue and solidify the top lane ban. And an Ahri ban actually for High means his other champions are also shortening. So if he wanted to play a mage, he's going to have fewer options. We'll see what CLG do here. First pick in phase 2.
expecting to just see a Nami leave the actual last pick for Huhi in the mid lane. Sometimes you do see Counter Logic Gaming move their support to last pick, but only if they have something that they really want to flex around, something that's contingent upon FlyQuest's composition that will be known.
Smart stuff all around. We'll see what FlyQuest want to do blind here, though. If High wants the big assassin, he's going to have to take it now as Altec. Showing a bit of love on the hover.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And another thing with that Nami lock, I just love the combo of Ezreal and Nami specifically. They just work so well. Ezreal's mobility, being able to apply the on hits with the Qs, and you just have a lot of potential for chasing people down and a lot of harassment that is not necessarily accounted for all the time. High right back to the Orianna, though.
I think now it has to be, you know, what's Ball's playing, because I think this comp, they probably want a traditional tank and run more split push. Renekton, okay, I like it. It's not exactly a tank, but it's not, you know, a brittle carry like the Rumble may have been.
Now, and you can play it very similar to how a tank is played as far as the team fight stage. Yes, obviously you build a bit more aggressively in the lane, you build for the Black Cleaver, but you can go pure tank after that and still be a very effective ball delivery for Orianna, and you have the speed ups and the shields to really get in the middle of the fight and mix things up.
Right, due to the composition, FlyQuest don't really have to rely on all their CC coming from the top lane. High has big zoning there with the Orianna. Ash Arrow is locked in super early for them, so it gives a little bit more flexibility to that top lane.
Yeah, last pick Syndra for Huhi should be a good matchup for him, at least initially, versus that Orianna, but curious to see kind of how it all fades out. I think CLG kind of playing a lot of what we've seen so far from them. No no carry this time for Darshan or Balls in this case, so we'll see more traditional team fighting. But this comp is looking very far away for FlyQuest about what they played already. This is like a straight up 5v5 comp.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they have bully lanes in bot and in top. They can push in, which should give Moon some more flexibility to look for ganks and to look for things around the map. That said, you have to be careful in this 2v2 matchup bot lane, because while FlyQuest will have the push, CLG has the poke, as Kobe said. And if you can get enough of that down, you certainly can start to win lane.
And if they do win lane, the Wombo combos you can theoretically pull off with an Orianna, Rengar, Ashe, and Karma speed could be devastating.
Certainly a lot to like here. Coaches will shake hands for the 4th time in the series. FlyQuest picking up a little bit of momentum. We'll see if they can carry that through the rest of the series. They will be one game away from getting knocked out this entire time here. CLG only need one to play up against TSM, but FlyQuest gonna make sure that doesn't happen.
The top lane matchup here between Balls and Darshan, these guys have so much history, and this is another interesting one for me because, Renekton, you want to push the pace, you want to bully out your opponent in lane, but Nautilus has such incredible gank assists that you have to be measured in your aggression. Make sure you are safe or that you have Moon to back you up.
Gank assist plus, popularity of the triple Doran ring build, giving a lot more early power to him as well. Just spam out shove waves, and we shall see where the junglers start this one off, because a lot does ride on their shoulders.
Well, it should be fun to see what changes we do have. It's been a great series so far, but FlyQuest still fighting for their playoff life every single game. Team's just going to move out, fan out across the river. Looks like no shenanigans this time. At least yet. There's always time at level 1.
Initial shenanigans.
Best shenanigans are the ones you don't see coming, KG.
Altec just chilling out. Set board already down there. Bahai was spotting that pixel brush there on the right-hand side. Looks like some of the shenanigans already coming out, though. Was Moon going to get chased down here? High backing up his jungler. CLG yet to place a ward, I do believe. They don't have vision that they'll leave, but at least kind of poke down Moon and get an early-ish read.
Yeah, because they did damage there to Moon, they can assume he's completing his recall, and invade on the red quadrant is a little bit more important. That's where the Raptors are. That's where everybody likes to get their vision down.
Altec saying no, though, actually keeps him out with a volley, so no vision, I don't think, for CLG. In fact, yeah, I can see 5 trickle wards ready to go, so they didn't place them anywhere.
And even though nothing actually comes from that, there's a lot of mind games and nice plays back and forth to stop that. The fact that the FlyQuest bot lane moves up, anticipating this second part of the invade to push that off with Karma and with the Ashe. They're actually doing a super strong leash here. They're going to leash 2 camps for the Rengar to perhaps set up a super early gank.
In fact, I think Moon left a big Raptor around, so that's a really big difference.
Might go straight to blue, actually. No? Okay.
Just chilling out. The big Raptor's all alone. Can get taken down.
You don't need the big Raptor to get your level 2. You can get it just off the small ones. And he might go for that very early gank that you're talking about. Blue buff would give him the level 3.
You know what that says to me? I'll probably go on top lane. See exactly how quickly this gank comes, but I like the setup here for FlyQuest. Bottom lane, of course, will suffer. Elimination tanked a lot of damage getting that started here. We'll see if CLG can kind of sniff out this play.
And I mean, part of the thing that's working for that as well, for the top side, is that Darshan actually started W. He started his shield because he wasn't sure if Balls was waiting in a bush here in his own jungle as he was trying to move up the top side. So that means he completely has forfeited the push. He cannot actually really contest it without having his E, and the wave is going to bounce back towards him. So Moon would have an opportunity to gank.
Moon is actually hard clearing the blue quadrant, so it's going to be a wrap back to this bottom side. It's going to be a lot earlier timing than you would expect a level 4 Rengar to come out. 3 minutes. This is definitely one of the quickest that we have seen. A lot of defensive vision, though. Almost all the paths are cut off here. Could Blast Cone, or could really hug on the Fog of War there on that bottom side. Moon gonna just go for more farming, though.
I think it's made even more interesting by the fact that the popularity of this 3-camp red quadrant clear from Rengar. You generally clear those 3 camps, you base, then you go to the other side. He's going to be in a position where people do not expect him as long as he does not get spotted out.
And it times really well with the bottom wards expiring, but Moon is not going for the gank. He's going to go for that recall.
Yeah, really jungle-centric opening here for FlyQuest. No ganks coming. Moon just hard farming. Now finishing up that early jungle item, so he'll start to put some vision down. Has a refillable potion and a control ward, but maybe just going to rush for 6 and then try and engineer some sort of gank here. But FlyQuest, we expect them to mix it up. It wasn't really in champs like this time, but certainly was for their level 1.
Smithy is topside. He could look to try to pull off a lane gank here if Balls actually pushes up too far. And he is looking to set that up, so we'll see if he can sneak in. Nope, spotted.
Not sneaky enough. And Ball's just going to hang out. He knows, all right, you're there. That means Moon actually straight to the Raptor camp. He's trying to check that out, get some vision down.
Yeah, and Moon has to be fairly careful because he's very deep in enemy territory. This would be a really easy collapse for Huhi. Now, that is his own team's Hawkshot, so nobody panic.
I think it might have spotted Xmithy as well. Actually going to leave the Raptor and back off. High basing, so doesn't want to play too aggressively. But again, smart stuff from FlyQuest here to kind of get the jungler in the right spot.
And top lane is trading, but Smithy does find Moon with the Scryer's Bloom plant, having seen the large Raptor chase him back out of his own jungle. And so they know that Moon is up on this top side, and I think both top laners will play accordingly.
And look at Huhi actually make a very early roam straight down to bot side. Smithy is covering, and they do not know where he is.
Yeah, they look to have called it there from high that Huhi is roaming in the bottom lane. Back up on the pressure. Deep wards, though.
In general, I kind of expected Moon to do something in a lane, but I think a lot of it is just FlyQuest lanes were all pushing for the early stages of the game, and I think that's kind of where they want them to be. 3 shopping lanes is always good. You mentioned that does unlock your Rengar. We maybe expected mid lane to be a little bit better for Syndra, but Moon just had so much room to get all this early farm. You can see level 5 to level 4 still ahead of Xmithy in experience.
Different focus as far as the warding as well. A lot of deep vision here for CLG on that red quadrant, which Moon will go to clear next and reveal himself.
He has been spotted out now, so the ball becomes kind of in Smithy's hand. He gets to actually have the next move of knowing where his opponent is and looking to try to do something.
Moon's level 6, by the way. So if you want to look at how fast his jungle route's been, he's 6-minute level 6, which I haven't seen in a long time.
Huhi might be trying to bait out a little bit here, but he gets caught up.
Patience, though. High kind of out of mana. Moon slowly making his way, maybe hoping Huhi continues to overextend.
Well, the thing is, Moon just cleared out that control ward, so he knows that CLG at least saw him on that one. He didn't know that they saw him on the Raptors, but they're well aware he's in this quadrant now, and he knows that they know.
And Huhi actually had a lot of potions from his last back, so he is going to be able to chug some potions, get right back up to full. And they haven't seen Smithy for some time, so a gank like that would be a little bit risky. Knowing he's not topside, he may be around mid lane, and could have been there for a counter gank.
And kind of for all this interesting jungling that we've seen, sure, it hasn't kind of manifest it in a kill yet, but FlyQuest do have a kind of a decent gold lead in the early stages because of that, and it just feels like CLG are fully understanding how much pressure this Rengar is exerting, despite not showing in any of these lanes.
And if we're looking at, where's the next possibilities of him going, if the bottom lane does hit that level 6, and you have Ashe plus a pushing Renekton on the top side, there are a lot of factors that do kind of point towards the bottom side for a possibility of, FlyQuest attempting a play here. But the CLG bottom lane, Ezreal and Nami, they sustain very well. They see us very well safely from afar, and they're not really giving a huge opening for FlyQuest to pull that trigger. So maybe not even worth your time trying to force something down there because it could backfire.
Yeah, it definitely could. If Smithy, if you know that that's a good play, Smithy probably knows it's a good play, and he could be in position to look for it. But Smithy has been kind of hanging around the top side a fair bit. FlyQuest can infer where he is simply because the vision is expiring. That's where the camps are respawning. So they kind of know that he's probably on that side, and Balls takes the time to actually base off of that.
Looks like pressure now for Moon on the right-hand side. Maybe looking around mid. Ward from High is going to spot a couple routes here, and I think they just spotted Smithy hanging behind the mid turret. So Altec and Lemon going to move up. Level 6 now ready.
So they are making a move on the bottom side with their pushing bottom lane. The move is not to force a kill, though. It's a much safer move. Just go for the invade on the blue. That would cause expected behavior from Smithy to go for the counter on the enemy blue. But Balls is actually collapsing there due to the expectations.
High's here as well, so this could be bad for CLG. High needs to find the shockwave, but he gets stunned up by Huhi. Shield there for Elimination. And there's the shockwave flashed out. No, moves the black he wants it. Pushes there. That's going to be first blood to Ringo. Arrow nails Smithy as well. FlyQuest don't face check it, but they had it all planned.
Moon off to another great start. He gets way ahead last game. Now he's up in farm. He's been up in experience, and he does get that first blood.
And he plays off of their pushing bottom lane to get everything started. Well, yes, we always talk about, oh yeah, you want to go counter the opponent's invade when you see them going for it. They're expecting that behavior, and the collapse here with a strong lane on that side of a Renekton as well does definitely pay off for them. High gets the flash, then Moon has a very easy decision tree there, goes in to finish up the Syndra.
And a lot of that comes from, it's a pretty greedy decision from CLG to go for that when Darshan is in base and Balls is already back to lane. So that is something, they expect, obviously, it's going to be a 2v2 because jungle will be on the other side, but still, you need to have your top laner there to have the numbers advantage.
It kind of goes all the way back to our intro of the entire series where we're discussing the shot calling and how important planning is in this. And identifying the next objective of your opponent to then play around that, which FlyQuest did really well there. And we'll see if they can actually work with it. 1,000 gold lead for themselves.
Yeah, in the right hands as well. Moon now finish that warrior once more. Smithy going to start a solo attempt on this Infernal Drake, but who he going to roam down to help him out. Kind of good use of recall timings here by CLG to try and sneak this away, but Moon, he's going to be in the area soon.
I think they'll be able to finish it before he gets there, unless he blind ulted and ran straight there. So CLG with a good answer here a little bit to sneak in, grab that Infernal Drake. That'll be great power for later.
Yeah, it certainly will. And they are, you can tell, building a lot for later. You have the tier on the Ezreal. He's going to be scaling up. You have Darshan taking Courage of the Colossus instead of Grasp. That's more for team fighting. That's for the later stages of the game, being less greedy, only going one Dorans into Tabbies, building toward team fight. So that is their plan here all along.
Well, taking Smithy also down towards the bottom lane, but FlyQuest already backed away. Instead, he's just cleaning out the creeps because, again, that continuing push from FlyQuest with the Karma, with the Ashe, has just been relentless. Blade of the Ruined King also now finished for Altec, so pressure is just everywhere.
Looks very similar to game number 1.
Ooh,
oh man, he is toast.
Leap in for it after move there to defend, but the shockwave's enough. Really nice play from FlyQuest.
I was going to say, it looked very similar to the pressure that CLG applied mid lane in their first game against FlyQuest. Top lane pushing, Balls comes down on the Renekton, constant jungle pressure, even a very nice arrow from Altec does end up hitting right down the middle there.
And it's great from Altec, and I like the attempt because they're having a very passive bot lane anyway. Take the shot there. If you miss, it's not a big cost. You can zone him off, and Hui's not playing with Cleanse. He's not paying that due over to Ashe, so he does get punished for it.
Well, High pressuring Smithy there as well. Now going to go back and could have his first major item not completed. Watch this one again. Altec just straight down the middle.
From downtown, baby. American Sniper.
Play.
And he gets a little bit of angle on it, so you cover just a bit more rather than going with a straight shot. But man, nails him right on the head.
And all that burst combining nicely. Altec with a good little snipe. Should be able to shove this down nicely with that blade completed. Stixxay still working on his item. Doesn't have a Mana Mune, so things are looking good, but the Morello Nomicon finish now for high means that FlyQuest still ahead and now 2,000 gold up.
Yeah, they certainly are. And it's also worth pointing out, Stixxay sticking to the more tried and true Ezreal build. A lot of players, Arrow bringing it out. A lot are going for Tyr into Bork. That it seems to be kind of the new hotness as far as the Korean build. And Stixxay is not electing to go for that. He is going for the faster Muramana and trying to scale up towards that.
I'm falling into the hype of the new kids these days. Going with his tried and true.
High, though, I think kind of in a much better spot. I mean, 2 deaths on Huhi's side is not a good look for CLG, and their mid lane has been playing exceptionally throughout this series. I think the overall pressure that High's exerting, even though it's not a big roam champion like a Zed, like a Talon, or even you look back at things like his Corki in the early stages, he's still doing what High wants to do. Pressure mid and then leave the lane and threaten the rest of the map.
Exactly. He's playing with Moon, going for the invade here. They get another flash and a red. Well, possible.
Nautilus is here.
Oh,
Dinner's
great
around.
arrow again! Altec nails it! And there's the shock wave onto Hui. Not going to be enough for the kill. They CC poor High, and Darshan gets the kill. Moon does steal the red buff from Blastcone away, but almost another great snipe. Not quite converted. They could collapse from CLG.
Don't worry, I got the buff, guys.
Shout about Rengar.
Still going there. This time Rengar straight in on the mid. Now Balls leaps it. Smithy down. FlyQuest answer back twice as hard.
FlyQuest are like, well, we committed all our people mid. Well, everybody's here. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
who's in there? He just overextending after that kill. They thought that they were safe. Really good answers from FlyQuest, though. And you talk about the road on these. Oh, never mind.
Elimination may be called, but Moon going to get the buff. Leads back into Afro. Afro forced a flash. Stixxay going to chase it down. Nami going to help out with a few more slows, but a good bowler there from Moon is going to get it done.
TP'd. He actually TP'd and then canceled that. That was really ambitious.
Yeah, all right, let's take another look at the, speaking of ambitious plays, okay, so he didn't have any vision. There's no way to see Lemon flashing over that wall with any deep wards, but still, he's very low, and there were a lot of enemies just in the vicinity, so good punish there from FlyQuest, actually, to get something back.
And Fly, again, continuing to pressure from the bottom side of the map. The global usage of Ash's ultimate, which we don't always see, is actually just let Altec stay there and almost take down that bottom outer turret as well. So FlyQuest have a very obvious place to collect extra gold. They're already 2,500 gold ahead, and I mean, every blue buff is going over to FlyQuest. High's going to get this next one. CLG have got one.
It's just been every buff, pretty much. They collected both sides on that time around, and I like the point out of the turret, because that's first turret gold. That is even more important. And with the advantage that FlyQuest already has, if they can collect that, that really can get the snowball rolling. So CLG has got to look to set up a play around that to try to stop something. But with Darshan blowing his TP on the last play around blue, it's much harder to do.
Maybe impossible, since he's going to the top lane.
Well, you can see Balls now with a Black Cleaver, so his 1v1 matchup looking good. Darshan not too happy about that. Stixxay dodges around the field there from Empowered Karmaku, so nice play from Stixxay to kind of keep everything alive, and now's that fade coming out, so it does look like that more traditional Ezreal build with the Trinity Force coming out instead of the Blade of the Ruined King.
All right, so we pretty much expect this Drake to be FlyQuest. They're trading again in the jungle, though.
Ulti out from Graves. There's a
nice
on
bubble.
He's going to try and take him down high. Flashing out of the way. Gets ulted in by the Syndra, but Afro still chasing it down. Not quite enough, and Afro is going to go down to Moon. Now Xfinity going to get left on Moon. He misses his leap out of the brush, but now they're going to TP in onto Hui. Moon leaps on, doesn't quite get stunned, and picks up the double. Protected as well. Bowler down there. Rengar does everything as Altec picks up the third one.
Well, if anyone had any doubts about them first picking Rengar over and over, Moon definitely showing up here. That's 4 kills now, but not to mention
That's gonna be 2 turrets.
a lot of unique kills, so he's stacking his passive.
Yeah, this is, I mean, the gold lead just got blown wide open here for FlyQuest. They're insanely ahead now.
Just to let you know, Bone Tooth Necklace is up to those 4 kills, so there's 1 away from collecting max stacks on the passive. Rengar just has so many things built into him. I always forget about that one, but I mean, Moon, he's had 2 great Rengar games in a row. This one is looking to carry FlyQuest all the way to game 5.
Okay, so this is CLG's attempt at, collapsing on the 2-man squad. But High Moon, they focus Hui here, and High is able to flash just barely away. Here's only 1 Afromu auto away from going down there until Moon picks up the kill. And then the teleport advantage. We finally see a little bit of it coming in there, even though Balls wasn't able to actually participate in any assists, zoned out a little bit, and made Hui go back the other way.
It's just going to be so tough for CLG because they are running a very standard teamfight composition. They don't have the Ashe to look for these picks, so they really need to start getting vision control back and trying to find assassinations.
And is it going to be a teleport from Darshan? Because now they're the ones with teleport advantage.
On to High.
High stun, that should be a kill. Like Smithy managed to take that one down. High leans back in his chair, a little upset about being taken down.
No teleport necessary. That is a flashless Orianna and a good punish there by CLG. They have a lot of deep vision on this blue quadrant of the jungle already, but the duo lane of FlyQuest on the top side back off appropriately.
Stopped so much of the momentum of FlyQuest as well. High got that mid turret exceptionally low, and Outtake did already take down the bottom turret in our last replay, so they're ready to pressure the outers and take them down and really open up the map. CLG do well to gank a flashless lane and kind of just keep themselves a little more afloat and get some gold back for themselves.
You can also tell how scared CLG is of this Rengar right now. Not having seen him, Stixxay was playing about a full screen behind his tier 2 turret, waiting for the wave to come up.
I gotta be honest.
Scared for him.
That is a 4 unique kill Rengar. Black Cleaver done. He's getting a bit tanky now as well with the Ninja Tabby coming in. And that's a really good purchase since Hui is the member that FlyQuest has been keeping down. So the AP threat hasn't been scaling. You know, they kept down to CS. They've killed him over and over again. And the Ninja Tabby provide a lot against an auto-attack jungle, plus obviously Stixxay himself.
Expecting, I think, another Banshees as well from him. We'll have to see kind of how the builds move out, but again, another great Rengar start here, at least in this game, and the rest of FlyQuest are not all taking advantage. 7 kills up to 2. Goldie's starting to go pretty rapidly, and these outer turrets aren't going to last that much longer with all this pressure.
That's true. The one thing for CLG, those deep wards that we mentioned in the blue quadrant are still there, and the possible Darshan teleports have a few more seconds before you know, the equalized teleport cooldown for Balls comes up. At the moment, Balls is on the bottom side, trying to keep his distance here from the rest of CLG, though.
Yeah, with most of his members that were around top side, he's going to have to play a little bit less aggressive, but the CLG also can rely somewhat on the team fighting of Stixxay on this Ezreal. You know, it's not him on the Ashe where he has to be, you know, as scared of these people diving in. Obviously, you still have to pay them the respect, but you have the ability to take over a fight, especially with the massive front line that Nautilus can provide.
Well, start on the plate in the top side here. Lemonation roaming up. Outtake just trying to lay into the turret. Darshan gonna get stunned up and take a good chunk of damage. Outtake even soaking a turret hit just to make sure the damage comes out. FlyQuest running themselves up. Moon's actually waiting on top of a ward. But they're going to clear this out, make sure they take out the control ward, and probably either dive or take the turret.
Yeah, this probably should be a turret trade. I don't know if Balls can actually defend down there 2v1, but he's looking to attempt it. Actually, High's going down there now, too.
And Hui tried to go up top side, so High's got a bit of extra time. Top lane out, Hui's going to fall down, but High blast cones in. This could be dangerous for CLG's duo lane. High's got flash. No, he does not, so can't flash in for the shockwave, but that presence is enough to keep CLG away for a little while longer.
Yeah, so a nice move, and you can move now mid lane. Remember, Hui does not have the cleanse. You have Ashe Arrow available. This turret is a stiff breeze away from going down, so that is definitely going to be the next target here for FlyQuest, and we haven't yet seen CLG be able to get Darshan involved with a flank, with this disruptive team fight that they really did kind of draft the Nautilus for.
Balls, I think, also saved that bottom turret, so CLG's duo lane going to back away. Outtake and Lemon return with a Runaan's Hurricane now finished for Outtake. It's a very healthy looking 2v2 for them, and our Balls can go back to the lane where he was performing much better in a 1v1. So overall map plays look good for FlyQuest, and they're actually 5,000 gold ahead.
The tone of this series completely reversing here for FlyQuest as they go more early game oriented, so much more proactive. Moon super comfortable on the Rengar. He even was talking about earlier in the season that every time they got Rengar, it's a free win. I'm the best Rengar, and he's actually able to perform on it here in the playoffs as well.
And that helps to get him his swagger back, right? Give you that confidence, give you the faith that you can turn this series around. But CLG looking like they want to contest here.
Well, they're going to try something, but Drake up in a minute, and High with a blue buff can threaten under turret as well. This is a tough siege for CLG to try and defend. But they're going to do what they can with the wave clear.
And it's also always such a bad feeling for Stixxay when you have all the pieces of your Triforce. You're a couple hundred gold away from a massive increase in power.
Arrow forces the flash. That's great news there for FlyQuest. Hui now flashes as the siege begins again.
Yeah, they're going to need Darshan very quickly here. Good wave clear from CLG actually puts a stop to any action there. No Ash Arrow available either. Means that FlyQuest will have to settle for the Scuttle Crab and 27 seconds away from the Drake.
And as we have seen it happen, they don't even need to have the whole squad here to take down Hui. If you spread out, make CLG max those lanes, you can look for a Rengar or onto a Flashless Cinder very easily.
You have to be a little bit careful about a dive getting turned around. But other than that, I think that FlyQuest should just, box off the check marks first. Take up your Drake and then move to try and make a move somewhere else. CLG though, knowing that they're gonna take this Drake, trying to get some money back through the top side. Balls actually does back off of that top turret, so they should be able to at least get some of that standing gold.
Backs all the way off, actually. Highly respectful play from Balls, but FlyQuest is really playing their map intelligently. Altec also knows that now he can reverse pressure back down to that bottom side, and if FlyQuest come down, they might take a turret or get a pick, or in a best case scenario, just nail both and really open the game up again.
And this is something that CLG loves to opt into when they fall behind, is trying to outmaneuver their opponents, trying to get these trades. But FlyQuest has been matching or outmatching them in all these trades, and they really have seen it so far.
They spotted him, but Moon still leaps onto Xmithy for a big chunk of his health bar. Darshan is down here, but the rest of CLG needs to come through the jungle and try and get something done. At some point, though, CLG has to give up an objective because FlyQuest will keep running them between these lanes otherwise.
FlyQuest have balls up on the top side with his Tiamat pushing pretty quickly and drawing some pressure up over there. Again, this is all push your side waves to then collapse and hit the 2 autos necessary to take this turret down.
And Ash Arrow is up here for Altex, who's really looking.
Finds Xmithy, Lemon maybe the bait. There's a flash out for Stixxay, completely caught out. Altec is just going to chase him down. The tidal wave might be enough for Stixxay. Turns it back around. Altec doesn't quite get it, but Afro's down. Stixxay sniped out Lemon. That's 2 kills though for FlyQuest. Took down Xmithy there as well. Darshan back in with the shockwave, finds Hui. Volley out there as a good depth charge, knocks up 3. FlyQuest still happy to fight forward. Balls go straight in onto Hui. Finds the carry, riding in with a slice and dice. Turret goes down. Stixxay books it, and now Darshan going to be under threat as well. FlyQuest a little messy, but they get almost all they wanted there.
Yeah, a little beaten up, but they do finally get that mid turret. Not to mention all the kills off the back of it, and they're rotating over to Baron right now.
And this is. They're going to start it up. I mean, this is classic FlyQuest, but it is warded out. They have seen this. Stixxay has life stolen back up. They're going to try to contest.
Mountain Drake, they are burning that thing down very quickly.
Stixxay tries something. Oh, that looked close. But the smite from FlyQuest secures it.
I mean, I can't blame you there, Pastry. He did just get a really nice snipe on the Lemon Nation there, just over the back of the wall, too. Let's take another look at it, actually. This is the start. And the Ash Arrow able to nail Xmithy. And this is where they were pushing the side lanes and trying to collapse back on the middle. Balls had the inside route.
And it just felt like Darshan has not been able to get to the right place at the right time. Nice little snipe here from Stixxay over onto Lemon to pick up an exit kill. But, I mean, Darshan shows up very late. And even trying to turn around into this essentially gets who he kills.
It kind of reminds you of the interviews that we saw with CLG during a lot of the games that they lost in the middle of the season there, where they talked about having trouble adjusting to Darshan as the tank in the top side, being the initiator for the team. That was very close, by the way, Pastry. So.
Moon had it unlocked, though, I believe. Yeah, Stixxay's like, oh, come on, man. I deserve that Baron. Well, FlyQuest get it instead. And now they're up 8,000 gold with a Baron buff at 25.5 minutes. This is the aggression that we expect from FlyQuest. Early game's going great. Mid game's going even better.
Yeah, and they really neutralized Hui, who had been carrying CLG really, really well, just performing super well in this series. So much focus from FlyQuest in the mid lane to keep him down. He's got 5 deaths to his name now. FlyQuest still pushing mid.
Lemon Nation continuing to face tank for the team, but Balls in the top side is going to take down that turret with ease, with all of CLG having to defend the mid lane push. This gold lead is going to get to 10,000 gold real swiftly. I think FlyQuest are about a turret away from hitting that mark, and CLG going to have to show off some miraculous defensive play just to keep themselves in this game, let alone to win out and advance in the playoffs.
I mean, CLG are going to want to try to stall this out as long as they can, try to farm it out and equalize some of the gold that way, but it's hard to see a world in which they can't force on to CLG. I mean, FlyQuest has the Ash Arrow, they have the Rengar, and this big Renekton to really force dives and to create plays, and CLG is going to have to play so well around that.
Patience, though, as Drake will be up in a number of minutes. Baron still up from minute 20, but likely no more damage that can really be done. Great Hawk Shot, though, is going to get a ton of vision around onto CLG, and there's that Drake up in a minute 55. So FlyQuest playing for that next objective.
And if CLG feel like they are too far behind to sacrifice this, they do have one Infernal. If they can pick up a second, that is kind of some hope as far as late game scaling goes. And they may try to fight hard for this, even at a disadvantage.
At the moment, FlyQuest a little bit oriented on the top side. Teleport comes in to collapse.
Arrow misses on to Huhi, but High going to keep running it down. Rengar also looking for a flank, I believe. There's balls already on Moon, straight in onto Huhi, going to try and take him down. Ball onto there, Oriana as well, but now Darshan caught up to the other side. Good disengage there from CLG, actually. Everyone gets out scot-free. Oh, Bowler onto Darshan. Locked down as well by a stun, but CLG should have enough to buy time for their tank.
It was a good scatter. He had to blow his flash there to pull that one off. CLG do get out with nobody dying though. And the Ashe Arrow is down. The Rengar ultimate is down. The Renekton ultimate is also down.
No, it's not down. Oriana ulti. Moon maybe threatening here. Good bubble there, but he can go back in. Shockwave finds Tugi, Smithy and Darshan. Now FlyQuest just going to move forward for it. Hui, ulti's on the Moon. He's going to get the GA. Redemption down, going to try and reset the fight. Oh my god, Smithy just got destroyed by Iron Moon, but Stixay, we're going to try and get it. Shuts down Moon to kick things off. 4v4 now, FlyQuest still playing aggressive. Stixay also caught down. That's a bad stun. Now he has to get out of the way and try and make it happen. Huge 2-3-man stun there for Huhi though. CLG just don't quite
Darshan almost here. Darshan has been behind them. He teleported in.
Looking for something. Outtake the target. He's going to get the snipe down, but Outtake turns it back around into Stixay. Stixay does get the kill. And CLG might have enough to fight this out. A double kill there for the Ezreal. FlyQuest get foiled.
3 kills for Stixay, including a big shutdown on Moon. Give CLG another lease on life.
That's Stixay, Ezreal coming in very big for the team, and CLG with some positioning around that prized Infernal Drake.
Darshan also still has his ultimate available, no TP on balls, so CLG, I think, want to try to force this and get that double Infernal advantage.
They would want to have Smithy there to get the smite. The kicker would be if High or Elimination could steal this.
Afro just can't really stand here is the unfortunate thing. Have to wait for the rest of the team. Shockwave on Huhi. Takes him down. Huge pick there for FlyQuest.
A Rengar ultimate. He's going to be here in time.
Depth charge on to High. Smithy going to try and cancel it off. That's a kill there. Afro
Stixay touch.
But Moon gets a little too much. And now Stixay still going to fight it out. Moon leads back and takes out Afro. Who's going to lead CLG away from the objective. But Stixay nails yet another kill. Hook going to miss there. But Stixay, no ulti, can't look for a snipe. Arrow going to find him as well.
The Infernal still stands, and more members of FlyQuest are reviving to head to the scene at the moment. CLG can't overstep their bounds. Even though they just won a very big team fight for themselves, the gold is still hugely on the side of FlyQuest, and the combat power of those items that they've been able to purchase on all members is just a little bit too much to overcome. It's kind of a case of reaching a little bit too far after you see the light there.
Yeah, certainly, but it was a risk perhaps worth taking. The double Infernal advantage can be so big in a matchup like this. Now it is completely eliminated.
It was only foiled by a very big play from High, taking down Huhi and really forcing that engage.
I mean, if High had gotten stunned up by Huhi, you'd be looking at CLG smashing that fight. But Stixay is very strong now, hitting his 3-item spike. This is really powerful time for Ezreal, and if Ezreal can stay alive in the fights, he can take over.
And I think the thing for CLG is, even in the last game where FlyQuest were ahead, granted it wasn't this magnitude of a lead, but they fought tooth and nail to almost sweep the series and just be done with it. CLG are still playing like a team that knows every single game is one we can win, no matter how far behind we are.
It certainly is, and Darshan is getting to be extremely tanky here. With the Frozen Heart completed, plus his Spirit Visage, you have so much CDR, you can be extremely disruptive in these fights, and he's going full defensive. He's not building towards the Iceborne to duel up against balls. Everything from masteries to build is committed towards the team fight.
Baron back up in 30 seconds. FlyQuest's going to take down the Scuttle Crab. We are going to be set up for a very pivotal team fight. Darshan, a bit of front line. He's fairly safe on his own. Team's just behind him there as well, but this Baron's going to mean almost everything about Huhi. Oh, he gets arrowed high. He's to come with the ulti in there, so Shockwave should be enough to pick him up. Not quite. Does go down to the end. Now 5v4 FlyQuest.
And Baron is spawning.
Altek's arrows this game have been actually insane.
I mean, Huhi has got to be regretting not playing with Cleanse. Yes, Syndra with the Ignite, so powerful, but he is 0-7.
It's very hard to argue for the Ignite at this point, having seen what's happened.
This could just be another Baron going the way of FlyQuest. We'll see. CLG's trying to push in. They feel like they need to fight.
Yeah, they're going to have to turn. They're onto Darshan, but a big tidal wave off the Death Touch could actually seal it for CLG. No shockwave from behind the moon. Lifting onto Darshan. Stixay still cutting out. Actually gets a huge kill on a high. Now Stixay trying to play around the back end of the team fighters. Balls go straight back in. They need to lock down the carry, and Stixay has now been stunned. Altac flashes forward. There's the shutdown onto Stixay. High takes him down. FlyQuest back to Baron.
That makes it a lot easier to go for this Baron at the moment. But again, the possibility of Smithy steal is here, I guess.
He back as well, but he's not going to make it in time for this. This is just going to be a smite fight if FlyQuest want to force it that way. High has his ulti back up. Balls looking for the stun over the wall. Going to try and take him out first. Smithy going to get caught up. The Baron still dealing damage. Balls able to zone him out of the pit. Now FlyQuest able to get the rest of it done. Darshan falls over to High. Baron goes to FlyQuest.
And they blow this game wide open. FlyQuest now with a Baron to enable their pushes into the inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, Stixay without his flash in that fight, no QSS. All they needed was the one stun, and Balls got it. They fully commit, flash in, and take him out.
And now the next fight's going to be even harder, but let's watch this back end of that, start of this fight again.
And this is a good call for FlyQuest, pulling off of the Baron. People criticize them so much for starting up those Barons and then sticking on them. They turn in the 4v5. Stixay had arcing shifted forward in order to get damage off and try and screen for the rest of his team to allow them to get out. Immediate collapse there from Altec and Balls to punish him for it.
Yeah, and it's such a dangerous move to go for without the flash and without that QSS, but he had hit one Mystic shot onto High, and he felt like if I shift forward, if I hit that second one, I chunk out the mid laner and we can perhaps take over the fight. It was a risk and didn't pay off at all.
And Stixay's certainly the player that needed to kind of play a little risky to carry this game for CLG, given the deficit they're in. Unfortunately for him, risk did not work out, and now FlyQuest, I think with the Baron buff, are almost unassailable by CLG. CLG will do an insane amount of work to not die here, and FlyQuest, one pick, and even without that, probably means the game's going to end pretty soon. The FlyQuest are just going for it. Straightforward Moon, looking for Stixay maybe, so just trying to siege up these turrets. Moon actually going to get locked up here by Darshan. Bubble's good from Aphromoo, but so tanky with the help of Orianna.
Yeah, with the double shields from Karma and Orianna, he can just walk in and zone them like that. Plus his GA's back.
I was going to say, that makes sense. He took a lot of damage just running around in his ultimate inside there. Meanwhile, though, another wave of minions has arrived for the second push here. They should focus more on
Hook again. Oh, Shockwave fire. High deletes Smithy. And now FlyQuest going to start the fight. Darshan going to melt in the front lines as High, getting chunked up by Hui, but it's not enough through the shields to take him down. Stixay can still try and carry the back of this fight, but Balls straight into Hui, takes down another carry. Now Stixay going to be the next one, shifts out over to his right-hand side, but FlyQuest already taken down the mid lane.
What a series, and it looks like FlyQuest are going to push us to that game number 5 to decide it.
Stixay already dead. High takes him down again. Arrow is going to force Aphromu's flash. Moon is just going to zone him out. FlyQuest heading straight for the Nexus. They're going to get one more shot at trying to push themselves through playoffs.
FlyQuest have just made this into an incredible series. Game 5, Silver Scrapes. CLG being pushed to the limit.
I mean, Lemon Nation said it. It's only 3 matches. At one point, it seemed like they might only get to play one, but as far as he's concerned, they only have to win 3 best-of-5s. And if they're down 0-2, still haven't lost.
I have to say, Moon's Rengar is rising in priority in this series draft phase, I have to say. I mean, the Aurelion Soul definitely should stay on FlyQuest radar. And don't forget about that one. Sometimes in the long series, those end up going through. But maybe some more focus on the jungle.
Yeah, it definitely has to be. Or at least protect